we go. You hold on.
Okay, yeah.
Now come with me, Tani.
Yeah.
The Hills hoist was invented for hanging clothes, but every Aussie kid knows what it's really for.
See, this is your very own carnival ride.
And what a ride this family has been on.
There you go.
It's a fresh beginning in Biloela for Priya, Nades, Kopi and Tani, their first full day in their new home.
How does it feel?
Feels happy, good sunshine in the house.
Yeah, you do. And it's big as well.
Yeah, big 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
Nades makes a spicy fish curry and plans to open Bilo's first Sri Lankan restaurant. Priya wants to help other refugees.
So who is the boss of the kitchen here? You or
Both
Nades?
boss. Sometimes Nades boss, sometimes me boss, both is.
Kopi and Tani, who were both born in Queensland, have grown up in front of our eyes.
These are for me.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
They've brought me bouquets from their new garden.
You guys have lived in lots of places since you were little babies. Do you remember many of them?
I remember Christmas Island.
Of their 4.5 years in detention, 2 were spent on Christmas Island at a cost to taxpayers of around $30 million.
Very hard. Lonely feeling. No other detainee. No good medical. My children's childhood lost. My beauty, my everything lost in 4 years.
Then came the most frightening of times for the family. Tani got seriously ill and was airlifted to Perth's Children's Hospital for emergency care.
And Tani, do you remember being sick in hospital? Yeah? What do you remember about that?
My sister looked after me.
Is that right, Kopi?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a sisterhood that's been forged in the unthinkable. But through it all, their home, Biloela, or Bilo as they call it, has had their back. An army of supporters fought on the airwaves.
We just knew we had to throw everything we had at getting them home.
Battled in the courts and protested in the streets to bring them back to Bilo.
This town has less than 6,000 people. It feels like the little engine that could.
Yes.
Is that how you see it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think I can. Is really, that's been what we've done, really. You know, we will get them home. We will get them home.
Bilo is a cattle and coal mining town. One of the largest employers is the abattoir where Nades worked before the family was placed in detention. The odds were against them ever coming back. But
this conservative rural town stood up to Scott Morrison's Conservative government. It was a tireless campaign. And you know what? They won. As one local told me, you don't muck with Biloela people. And Priya, Nades, Tani and Kopika are Biloela people.
We saw Priya and Nades as people. They weren't refugees, they were one of us. And so I think in any community in Australia, we embrace people. Like, I like to think that's Australia.
But it would take a change of government to change the family's fortunes. When Albo won, they were one step closer to home.
Well done, Priya. Well done for hanging in there.
You did it.
Do you have a message for Scott Morrison or Peter Dutton, who were so strong on wanting to keep you out of Australia?
I wish as in life is a good life, but I don't worry.
You wish Scott Morrison and Peter Dutton a good life?
Good life.
And a good life is also how things are turning out for this resilient family. After their plane touched down on Friday, there was barely a dry eye at the airport. And at Bilo's annual multicultural festival yesterday, they were VIPs. So So it may come as a surprise that all this love for the family is not shared by everyone in Billow. Nev Ferrier is the mayor.
There are some locals who aren't happy about the family coming back. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because they might think that all the boats will turn up again and we'll have to go through all that stuff and, you know, people dying at sea. No one wants to see that. Anybody with a heart or knows a family, you know, knows that's not what it's about.
So what about the news reports of a few boatloads of refugees leaving Sri Lanka bound for Australia? Priya and Nades arrived by boat a decade ago.
Do you think that your story will encourage other potential refugees in Sri Lanka to want to come to Australia by boat?
No. No.
This life, this is very hard.
You think your story will discourage people getting on boats?
Yes.
If people are in danger, they are going to find a way to flee and they are going to find a way to protect their families.
Did they jump the queue?
There is no queue, you know. End of the day, people are just going to do what they can to stay alive. There is no queue, you know. There's not an orderly fashion to do this. It's about life or death.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 years, 6 years, we didn't see 5 years, 6 years?
Yes.
Oh, I'm happy.
Yes.
It's early days in this family's new life.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks, okay.
There are excited neighbours like Cho from Myanmar to meet.
And we've also seen that you've got a trampoline in the backyard. I think you might have some visitors.
Okay. Okay, see ya.
See you, bye.
So, Copy, what would you like to do when you grow up?
Become a doctor. Me too.
2 doctors.
Yes. Yes.
Why would you like to become a doctor?
Because we get to help people. And we get to give medicines.
In the meantime, there's some lost childhood years for these sisters to catch up on. It began today with Tanika's 5th birthday party, her first held outside detention.
Happy birthday, dear Tani. Happy birthday to you.
Friends, family and a cake with a koala. All the sweeter for this family because it came with the taste of freedom.
Magic that those kids get to have a whole bunch of new memories to replace the ones that they've had so far, you know, and what an amazing welcome from a town. That neighbour, oh, like, what a reception.
That was such a moment. She suddenly, oh, you're that family.
Yeah, that's so good. That's what you want from your neighbour, because usually it's just a disgruntled, like, why are your leaves on my backyard?
Now, I know that a lot of people have asked why Priya and Nades still struggle with their English after so many years in Australia. And I found out the reason why. Due to their visa situation, they couldn't access the appropriate government program. And when they were in the community, they would have had to take time off work to go to lessons. And with a very meagre income, that was a luxury that they simply could not afford. But they definitely want to get their English going now, which is great.